Hi guys, this is the first job I'm doing using my newly acquired ASME 9 ticket. This was actually about a year ago and I've gotten a lot better since then, but about 10,000 PSI or over will be going through this pipe manifold, so I have to do it properly and I'll just walk you through how I do it. I did two pieces for my test. One was in 1G position, which is two beveled pipes with a 3mm gap between them. They're about 100mm pipe. And then I also did the 6G position, which gives you all tickets, but I wasn't sure I was going to pass this one. That's why I did the 1G one. I only actually needed that ticket, but I just did this one just to see if I could do it. You put your beveled piece on an angle line at a 45 degree, then you use another piece of angle line to clamp on to align your other piece of pipe. Leave your gap, put your tacks on, then you remove that piece of angle line and you can weld around it. And this makes you weld in every position, so you get all the tickets basically. Now I've set all the T up, ready to weld. You have to put quite big tacks on everything. And I've got this aluminium tape that I wrap around all the joints, blocking it off so the purge gas can stay inside the T. Later on I'm going to do a stainless steel one of these manifolds as well. So that's why I'm doing it with the purge gas. You can get away with not using purge gas on mild steel, but it's a bit easier with the purge gas. I'm just using another argon bottle at 1 litre per minute, flowing through this tube here and into the pipe, and that little gap there where I'm going to weld is the only place the gas can get out. So now I'm about to lay down my root run. This is an important one to run. And I actually weld this up. You get more penetration when you weld upwards. It's a little bit more difficult, but it's worth it for the penetration you get, and you really want a nice weld on the inside. So with that little piece of weld finished, I then need to peel the tape back to reveal the next tack. I then need to actually cut that tack out with the grinder just to make sure there's no impurities in it, because that was tacked up with no purge gas or anything. And then I also will cut back into the very end of that last weld in case when I tail it off there may have been an imperfection. This is just cautious for the first run. If you don't grind the tack out, it's hard to get it to weld nicely on the inside because there'll be a big lump or even a lack of fusion between the tack and your last run. Now I basically just repeat the process and weld the rest of the way around the pipe, just spinning the pipe as I go. So I usually get this in 4 turns. Now I need to check inside to make sure it's fused all the way, and it looks like it has, but there's a few big lumps in there. I might just hit those lumps with the die grinder, but that's good. It's better to have a lump than nothing. Now it's time for the hot pass, so I crank the welder right up to 150. I actually do it even hotter than that now because I go heaps faster. And I changed up my torch a little bit. Now I've got the big cup on and a very clean tungsten. This run really burns in that weld, and you can even set it down lower so you can get more penetration with this run if you run it hot enough and slow enough. And I'm trying to do a little bit of a walk the cup on this run, but this is early days. I haven't quite got it figured out yet, but I'm starting to get the hang of it. So you just basically weld around this, and you don't need to grind your tack out each time now. And it's starting to go a lot quicker. You don't need to move the tape or anything, so this is really starting to move along now. This will take probably 4 to 6 runs to get this pipe welded out. And there we go, it doesn't look too bad actually. And now I'm showing you how I do the next run, is because you want to feed heaps of wire in, because you're basically just trying to fill the gap up now. So I'm going to be pushing the wire. How I do it now is I actually hold 4 rods in my hand and melt all 4 rods in at once, and that fills it up way quicker, and you're still getting a nice clean full penetration weld. So I've actually backed the amps off a bit, probably to about 130, and I'm using 3.2mm wire. I think I've done another run that I haven't recorded here, and I'm just going to show you quickly what I do for the capping run, which this is the one that you've got to try and make look tidy, but I'm not very good at it at this stage. I can do it a lot better now. And that's sort of the motion I use to try and weld it. And there we go, I've got quite a big hand movement going on. You don't need to do it that far, but I didn't know that at this stage. And looks a little bit yucky, but not too bad. It'll easily pass X-ray. And there we go, I've done the other side. I think that was a little bit better. Both those sides welded off now. Now I've got another piece to add to the manifold, which is a piece of smaller pipe. I think it's 75mm diameter. I'm just cleaning it up with a Scotch-Brite wheel to take the mil scale off it. I actually had no one to teach me how to do this ASME 9 welding. I just sort of watched a YouTube video and figured it out for myself, but there's not really that many good videos about how to do it, so hopefully this helps someone if they're trying to do their ticket. And I also do the inside with one of those flapper wheels that you put on a die grinder, and get the mil scale out of the binnel as well, because you don't want any contaminants of any kind in your root run especially. This is just showing some of my setup here. I use a 3.2mm welding rod and smash the flux off it, and then I made this little clamp thing that you can put around the pipe, and it's got little slots for your packer and also little holes that you can weld in for your tacks. You just set that on there and line it up. You can actually do this however you like. There's no sort of rules. As long as it basically passes the X-ray, you're fine. Then it's on to tacking. I go back to the small cup for tacking, just so there's a bit more room to see. And I just use still the 3.2mm wire because it's a bit easier for me. You can only get a little tack in these holes, but make sure after you've got these tacks on, you beef the tacks up to about at least 10 to 15mm long, because if the tack breaks while you're welding, you have to cut everything apart again, because you can't have the flange crooked to the pipe. That's what I'm doing right here. I'm just beefing up the tacks a little bit, just to make sure they don't break. These are going to get ground out anyway, so you don't need to be too fussy with them. I block the end of the pipe off. I've just got a grinding wheel covered in tape with a hole in it for my hose. You can probably buy proper plugs for these, but we don't have those because we don't do that much of this type of work. I'm blocking up the other end with tape as well. And from here on, it's basically the same process all the way through. The weld's a bit better on the inside of this one. I'm getting a bit better as I go. And I'm really doing my best to make sure everything's square and in line and as per the drawing. This manifold's actually going underground, and I don't want to make it difficult for the guys underground to get everything lined up, because there's a few of these pieces that I'm making. There's probably about 10 of these pieces that all have to bolt together. Make sure when you're doing something like this you have yourself a good setup. So I've got a big piece of angle line there with some big totally vertical pieces on the sides that I can use to square things off, and clamp stuff too, so I can get everything nice and square and parallel. And I'm just tacking in the last piece now, and then all I have to do is weld that off, and I've got everything as aligned as I can possibly get it. It will shift when I weld it, but I've got to do my best. I also machined these pieces of round bar to fit in the hole nice and tight, so I can put the level on to make sure everything is level with each other. You usually always have the 2 holes at the top. And there we go, we're all welded together. This pipework's now been installed for about a year, and the pressures were actually higher than they predicted by a little bit, and everything's held together, no leaks or nothing, and yeah, the customer was very happy. So that was a great learning experience for me. Thanks for watching, you guys, and leave a comment if you're a pipe welder. See you later. Bye.